In the news this week, Sam Bankman-Fried does a 180, but the judge shoots it down. What does this mean for Sam Bankman-Fried? One of the biggest Bitcoin whales may be signaling trouble. What will this mean for Grayscale, GBTC, and cryptocurrency more broadly? Three Arrows Capital withdraws 2,000 ETH from Binance. Could this spell trouble for Binance? And Visa publishes a report on a novel breakthrough that could increase blockchain adoption. Stick around to the end of this video to find out what exactly that report says. Hello everyone, my name is JT, and if you find this content useful in any way, please consider subscribing to the channel and sharing it with a friend. Now, here is your crypto news. First up in the news is the one and only Sam Bankman-Fried. The once beloved crypto prodigy and FTX founder, SBF, has found himself in an interesting scenario. Sam was first arrested in the Bahamas on December 12th, and if convicted on all his charges, Sam could face up to 115 years in prison. Originally, SBF decided to fight extradition to the United States, but after spending a few days in the jail in the Bahamas, it looks like he decided he wants to drop his fight against extradition. It seems he hasn't been enjoying his Bahama bunk bed very much. Well, the Daily Press reports that Sam Bankman-Fried is headed back to jail after a Bahamian judge cut short a hearing where the disgraced FTX founder was expected to drop his fight against extradition to the US. Reporting further that Bankman-Fried was expected to tell Judge Shaka Servia that he will not fight extradition to the US, where he faces multiple criminal and civil charges related to FTX's collapse. Instead, Eyewitness News Bahamas is reported that Bankman-Fried is headed back to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services, with prosecutors and Servia calling the hearing a waste of time. What will this inevitably mean for SBF? How soon will SBF have to face a US courtroom? The answer is not that easy to find. However, be sure to ping that notification bell, as we will certainly be covering it as it develops. Now on to other news. Grayscale is having liquidity issues. The creators of the GBTC Bitcoin Trust currently own 3% of all Bitcoins. A liquidity issue here is not a great sign. GBTC gave institutional investors a way to gain exposure to Bitcoin without having to hold the underlying asset. Now, the only problem here is that it has consistently traded below NAV, or net asset value, now trading at a whopping 48% below NAV. As Yahoo Finance writes, this discount has emerged due to market volatility and shareholders' inability to redeem their shares for the underlying asset. There is no way for investors to buy discounted shares, redeem the Bitcoin, and sell the Bitcoin for a profit to arbitrage away the difference. In June, Grayscale filed a lawsuit against the SEC after the regulator again rejected the firm's spot Bitcoin ETF application. Today, Grayscale CEO Michael Sonnenshein wrote in a year-end letter to investors that, quote, "If we are not successful in our legal challenge in all applicable courts, and we conclude there is no possibility of legislative or regulatory clarity that would allow for the conversion of GBTC to an ETF within a reasonable timeframe, we would explore other options to return a portion of GBTC's capital to shareholders." End quote. This would only be pursued if their legal battle to get their ETF approved fails, which is highly probable as there is yet to be a Bitcoin spot ETF approved by the SEC. There are two problems with this quote from the CEO, however. In order to make such an offer, Grayscale would need shareholder approval to amend the GBTC Trust Agreement, which currently does not allow for the repurchasing of GBTC. It would also need the SEC to lift certain requirements pertaining to the execution of tender offers. This means there's a scenario where their legal battle fails to produce an ETF, their shareholders vote no on the change, or the SEC rejects lifting the requirements pertaining to tender offers. This is not a great sign. However, if they were able to get the green light to return a portion of GBTC's capital to shareholders, Grayscale would actually benefit from a massive arbitrage trade, essentially buying back some GBTC at a near 49% discount, making some shareholders whole and selling the underlying BTC for a profit. This could help Grayscale's liquidity problems, but could entail some serious sell pressure, as GBTC said it was looking to make a legal tender offer on nearly 20% of its GBTC holdings. There is a lot to speculate about, but we will keep an eye on how this all unfolds. Next in the news, Three Arrows Capital, the now bankrupt crypto hedge fund, moves 2,000 ETH from their account on Binance. Their bankruptcy filings show that they owe creditors over $3 billion, so why aren't their accounts frozen? With FTX on the mind of regulators, unless there is a good reason for this movement of capital, this could increase the regulatory heat on the Binance exchange. It also raises questions as to where that money is going, who is actually moving it, and if creditors will ever be made whole. Now, this is a short story, but it remains a mystery nonetheless, but I'll certainly be following along and providing updates as they appear. Last in the news is Visa. Catherine Gu, Visa's head of CBDC and protocols, released an Ethereum proposal that could greatly increase user experience and give Web3 users a more familiar Web2 feel. Now, a primary issue with fully self-sovereign crypto wallets is that users must sign for each transaction. This eliminates the possibility for traditional finance transactions like auto-paying bills. As Forbes reports, credit giant Visa released a proposal that would let owners of the Ether cryptocurrency set up automatic payments directly from their own self-custodial wallets, a proposal that would not require banks or other centralized entities to be part of the picture. To do this, the Visa proposal would need to rely on a process called account abstraction. Now, without boring you on the technical details of account abstraction, just know that this idea was first proposed in 2015 by Ethereum creator Vitalik Buterin and formalized in 2017 as Ethereum Improvement Proposal, or EIP 86. Now, it is unclear if this proposal will even gain any traction, since the idea has been stagnant for years, but with Visa's proposal, the fire may have been reignited. As with everything else, we will be sure to follow along with the progress of this proposal, as it could have massive positive effects on the crypto markets. Now, that is all for today's crypto news. If you enjoyed the content, please smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, ping that notification bell, and hit me up down in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. Before we sign off, I just want to make a mention that as I was recording this, the news regarding SBF changed. Of course, as with everything in crypto, the news moves a mile a minute. So, The Guardian writes that, quote, on Monday afternoon, Jerome Roberts, Bankman-Fried's criminal defense lawyer in the Bahamas, told media outlets including the New York Times that his client, Sam, had agreed to be voluntarily extradited and that he had hoped Bankman-Fried would be back in court later this week. So it seems like Sam will be on his way to the United States after all, and hopefully more to this story within a week. Alright folks, that is it for real this time for the crypto news. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.